You can go either this way and go around this way, or you can go this way and go around. Either way, you'll find it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you're going this way, just veer to the left.
Okay.
You want to listen to story time? Story time. You want to sit with us for story time? Yes. You want to sit with us? Wonderful. Oh, I know we like to hear a story, right? The best story Disney has to offer. That's a pretty good story, yeah. Your Majesty, we have royalty joining us for story time. How lucky are we? I think that's how it is. Does anybody know how a story starts? How's a story start? Absolutely correct. Once upon a time, there was a land called Neverland. It was the home to me, my friend Tinkerbell, and a stinky pirate named Captain, and an old pirate. Also, can't forget about Tiger. And Bird Tiger. Well, we all lived in Neverland. Well, in London lived the Darling family. There was Wendy, John and Michael. Those are her brothers. Now, Wendy would always tell John and Michael wonderful stories about me and my adventures sword fighting Captain Hook. Did anybody guess who always wins those stories? I always do that. Now, one night while I was listening to her tell stories about me, I let loose my shadow. Couldn't get him back to Neverland. So the very next day, I had to fly around with Tinkerbell looking for him. And we came right inside, flying around, and Tinkerbell found him in a drawer. I guess Wendy had put him there for safekeeping. Now, once I had my shadow, I tried sticking him on with the bar of soap. I went just like this with the bar of soap. And stuck him on. And he didn't stay. Now, I wasn't sure what to do next. Oh, I seem to lose him a lot. I think he tried to do it. Staying on quite good. When he did so much, how would you keep your shadow on? Oh, it's blue. What? How about you? Oh, almost. Any other ideas? Alright. Just something. Oh, syrup. That could work. Yes? Oh. Well, Wendy said Peter, if you want your shadow to stay, you've got to use a needle and thread. So, she got needle and thread and sewed them on right before me. And while she was doing that for me, she was telling me how her father said it was time for her to grow up, that she had heard enough of the story of Peter Pan fighting pirates, and it was going to be her last night in the nursery. Now, does anybody here know my mom? Anyone? What is it? No, maybe not. Well, never grow up. So I just like to hear this idea about growing up, and I said, Wendy, I'd love to come to Neverland. And she said, oh, Peter, that sounds wonderful. But can I bring John and Michael? And I said, of course. But first, we have to learn how to get to Neverland. Does anybody know the instructions to get to Neverland? Yes?
You need to fly.
Well, you've got to fly. Does anybody know where you fly towards? You gotta fly towards the second star to the right and head straight on till morning, and you'll find it. And in order to get there, you do have to fly, and you need 4 ingredients to fly. Does anybody know the 4 ingredients to flying? Yeah. 6 steps. Faith. What you got? Your hat. Anybody else? You need your faith, trust, and your happy thoughts. For having happy thoughts, and happy Now, once you've collected all your favorite questions, get some happy thoughts, you're all ready to fly. Now, who would you like to share with me? What would your happy thought be when you're going to fly?
A thunderbolt.
Anyone? Any other happy thoughts? Maybe Disneyland, maybe your grown-ups, or maybe your family, or maybe candy. I like candy. That's a good happy thought. What's your happy thought? Candy. Candy. Well, once you brought all your favorite questions, we were ready to fly to Neverland. So off we went. And while we were flying to Neverland, a stinky pirate named Captain Hook was on the lookout. And while we were flying in, he spotted us and he said, "Peter Pan ahoy!" Mister, we blast them out of the sky. And so Captain Hook tried to blast them out of the sky with him. But I'm too clever for it. And he missed. But I had to tell Tinkerbell, I said, "Tinkerbell, take Wendy, John, and Mike back to the hospital as fast as you can." She had a different idea. She flew as fast as she could down to the hideout and she said, "Boys, there's a Wendy bird in the sky and she must be taken down." So the Lost Boys gathered all their secrets and threw them at Wendy, John, and Mike. Now, you can imagine if someone was throwing sticks and stones at you, you'd probably lose your happy thoughts. So they lost their happy thoughts and began to fall to the ground. Now by this time, I'd already taken care of that secret. So I had flown back over to the hideout and I saw we were showing quite upset. You're not supposed to be mean to your friends. You shouldn't be mean to your friends, right? Right? I banished Tinkerbell from Neverland for being stupid. And she did not like that. She got all red in the very Now, Wendy wanted to go see the mermaid, so I thought it was a great idea. So I took her off to Mermaid Lagoon while the Lost Boys took John and Michael to play Follow the Leader. Now, while we were visiting the mermaids are quite sneaky, and they started to ruin Wendy's hair. They said, "Please, it's ruining my hair." And while this was all happening, we saw Michael in a boat with Captain Hook and Mr. Sneak. Now, Tiger Lily did not usually keep company with Tiger, so I knew something was wrong. I snuck right over to see what was going on. And I saw that Tiger Lily was tied up. Captain Hook had trapped her, so I knew I must save the day. Now, Captain Hook got distracted and he went off, probably looking for a treasure. And while he did that, I disguised my voice just like him and I said, "Mr. Let go of Tiger Lily." And so we did. But soon the captain came back and he got real upset with Mr. Sneak. And he knew that it was me that tricked him. So he was ready to sword fight. And we did. Any guesses on who won? Oh, me, I always win. Now, once I'd taken care of that second part, I had taken Tiger Lily back to her village so she could dance and play with her family all night. We had a wonderful time. Now, Tinkerbell was real upset at me for banishing her, so she paid a visit to Captain Hook. Captain Hook, I will tell you where the hideout is. There on Peter Pan's head. And Captain Hook crossed his fingers, put his hands behind his back, and he said, "Miss Bell, I promise." So what did Tinkerbell do? She dipped her feet in the ink, and she walked right across the page, and she made an X to mark the spot. And she gave away my life. But then, Captain Hook trapped her in a lantern. You see, all trapped in a lantern. How sad. and he left a present. And that present said, to Peter from Wendy. Now I thought maybe Wendy left me some candy, but she had made me sad a little bit earlier because she had talked about going home. She said she was homesick and she missed mother and father. But I didn't want her to leave me all by myself in Neverland because the lost boys thought about wanting to go home too. So I thought maybe she just felt bad. But no, Captain Hook was trying to trick me. But I'm too clever, and Tinkerbell escaped from the lantern and she flew as fast as she could down to the hideout, and she told me what was going on. So I flew as fast as I could over to the Jolly Roger. That's Captain Hook's pirate ship. Now, he had everybody tied up and he said, all right, everyone, unless you want to become a pirate, you will walk the plank. And Wendy said, Captain Hook, I will never become a pirate. So what did Captain Hook say? He said, Wendy, you will walk the plank. And so Wendy did. With her hands tied behind her back, she bravely walked across the plank and she jumped. But there was no blackbird in the water. Does anyone know why? Because what? Well, I was flying around the corner. I caught her right before she hit the water, brought her back up, snuck behind the back of the pirate ship. I cut loose the Lost Boys, and together we fought all the pirates and threw them overboard. So Captain was being chased by the TikTok Croc. Because you all know Captain Hook smells like cotton, right? And the TikTok Croc just wants a ride. This is my favorite part of the story. It's time for me to become Captain Peter Pan. I took the captain's pirate hat, put on his coat. Tinkerbell helped me sprinkle pixie dust all over the Jolly Roger, and we were ready to fly back to London. For it was time for Wendy, John, and Michael to go. After all, they did miss their family. They wanted to go back to visit them. So we flew all the way back to London, and I dropped them off right back at their windowsill. And it was that night that me and Wendy made a promise to each other. Wendy promised to always tell stories about me and my adventures in Neverland, as long as I promised always to come and visit her and take her on adventures. And to this day, we do that. You know, I don't know what I'd be without Wendy. She's always brought so much shadow on the floor. And she's always telling great stories about me. Lots of other stories too. But the best one is always her. And does anybody know how a story ends? Do you know? Alright, what if we all say it together? Now, once they were back at home and all was safe and well, and I promised to come back for a wonderful adventure, they all lived
Happily
ever
ever
after. The end. Thank you, friends. Did you like story time? What was your favorite part of the story? You want to choose a favorite picture? Maybe Neverland? Or Wendy always likes the one of us. She says that's her favorite. Maybe, does anybody else have a favorite part? Do you have a favorite part of the story? Oh. Maybe the Lost Boys. I bet it's the Lost Boys. They're lots of fun. I bet you feel enjoy it. What about you? Do you have a favorite part? When Mr. Smee got tricked, right over here. Right there. Mr. Smee is a pretty nice guy. He's my favorite. Well, thank you for joining me, friends. Hope you enjoy all your adventures today and watch out for smelly pirates. If anybody would like to get a picture, we can get a picture together. I would like to make a line right up against this.